So, I mean, let's just say this goes the full, you know, the full way of, fascism and having to end it and then maybe even split the country. I have no idea. But let's just say we have to come up with a new constitution, a new way to do things. I want to hear what people think would be a great change to make what we have now found out is a failing state, and make it better. For one, one of the number one rules is going to have to be no money in politics. People can't bribe politicians like they've been. Everybody knows if the politicians get money from businesses and corporations, then they're going to make laws that favor those businesses and corporations. So if they got their money through public means, then maybe they would start to fund public things and make laws that benefit the public. Just saying, that'd be a good one. Another one is, why do we need a president? Why do we need a single person to run this? I think when they were creating the country, they had come up with a president because everybody had known monarchies. Always one person in charge, and maybe that's a remnant of something they felt like they had to do. But as we know, through many years, through the Bush Jr. years, through Trump's last time in office, through Biden's time, that the country, the cabinet runs it. I mean, we've had some idiot presidents. I mean, Trump, moron, doesn't understand shit. Biden was pretty much in decline since he started. George W. Bush, yeah, a moron from the beginning. Every one of these people's cabinets ran the country. Their cabinet. Why do we need a single leader? It just creates what we're dealing with right now. Somebody that could try to consolidate it all under one person. I mean, what would be better? Would it be better to do, have 3, maybe 4 or 5 different types of parties, different, political parties, instead of just the 2? And maybe have 1 or 2 representatives from each party be in charge. And then, like they do with the Supreme Court, they vote things out and see what happens. Like they do with anywhere. They vote things out and see what happens. Why does there need to be a single person in charge of the country? It's a good question. But what I want to know is what other people would do and what kind of rules would they put in place that would be in a new constitution that we know has failed. And that we know would actually be a better rule than what's going on right now. I mean, these checks and balances are crazy. I mean, the judicial can say, hey, this is against the law, but when the executive goes, I don't care, what are you going to do? Come for me. There's nothing they can do because the marshals are under the executive branch. So marshals aren't going to arrest their boss. See, all of this is the checks and balances are all flawed. Everything's pretty much flawed. They allowed for endless money to come into politics. They made it so that it was exorbitantly difficult to do any kind of amendments. We haven't had amendments for decades and decades because it's almost impossible to do. We were supposed to be changing this thing a lot, Thomas Jefferson said. But no. What would you do? What would you put in a new constitution? For a new country. Is it in the Constitution that everybody deserves to have medical treatment? I mean, come on.